So now this drawing here is a good example of how we can use the mirror and ellipse command in a good way. Okay. So this is just a normal model drawing that you have to be careful when you're doing all the trimming and everything because you can get a underdefined sketch very easily. You have to make sure that each time you do a drawing, you fully define it before you go to the 3D environment. Okay, now let's see how to do this drawing. Open your SolidWorks, go to Part, as usual, click on the sketch and choose the front plane. Okay, now if you see this drawing, it has two central axes. Okay, the first thing you should draw always, you draw the construction line. Without construction line, your drawing won't be, it will be difficult to define your drawing. So first thing you draw the two construction lines, that one vertical and horizontal. So I'm just going to go here. I'm going to choose the midpoint line because in this drawing I can see it is they have made it through the origin. So I'll just use the midpoint line. I can click here and pull. So the midpoint line will give a um, equal distant line. Okay, so I'll just make a vertical line, click. Okay, again I will choose the midpoint line and make a horizontal line. Okay, so just to make it double sure, I click on the line, make sure it's vertical. I click on this line, make sure it's horizontal. It is horizontal, but just to make sure. Okay, I click on this and change it to construction line. Just click on for construction, it becomes the construction line. Click on the horizontal line, click on for construction, it becomes construction line. So the first thing you should draw is this two construction line. Exactly vertical, exactly horizontal. These steps are important. Mhm. Then, now I see this drawing. What I see is I see a circle. Then I see an ellipse around the circle. So very quickly I can draw the circle and the ellipse. The circle, the dimension is given as radius 35. Okay, let me draw the circle first. Just click on the circle command, click on the center and pull. Press escape, go to smart dimension, click on the circle, and this is the diameter. So if the radius is 35, that means the diameter is 70. That is done. The next is a ellipse. Okay, ellipse, you know, it has x and y. So the x distance of the ellipse is given here 100. 100 by 2 from here, from the center, 100 by 2, that is 50 on this side, and here it is 80. So 80 divided by 2, 40 on y direction. So let me click on the ellipse. I click on the center. I choose the ellipse command, make sure it's chosen, and then click on the center and pull towards the x direction. Make sure you are keeping it horizontal. If you keep it like this, you will not get a proper ellipse. Keep it horizontally. Just near to 50, I click. And here on the y direction, that is near to 40, I click. Now quickly I dimension it. From here to here, and the drawing is given as 100. Right? Yeah, it's given 100. Then from here to here is given as 80. So that is done. It's black in color, so it's very well defined. Then I have one circle here, another circle here. One circle here, another circle here. So the inner circle is given by 12. The outer circle is given by 12.5, 12 diameter, which means, okay, and the radius here is 12 and 25. So let me go here. click on this circle. This one is 12 diameter, that is another circle which is 25, 12.5 radius, that means diameter is 25. Done. Now what I can do is, since it's a very symmetric drawing, the advantage of symmetric drawing, everything you can just keep mirroring. You draw on one side only, the remaining you can mirror. So I click on these two, I use the mirror entity, I select these two, and it says mirror about which axis? About the central axis. Click and say OK. You have the same thing on the other sides. This is the good thing about symmetric drawing. Now I need to use trim command, and I need to trim this part. Okay. Also here, you have to be careful while trimming. If you touch the construction line is lost, and then all your drawing will have problem. You should only touch the line that is needed to be trimmed. If I touch the construction line, all the drawing is lost. Press F to get it inside the screen. Okay, there's some problem here. Okay, no problem. You don't have to worry about that now, because there's a lot of trim still to do. Then we'll try to see what is the problem, because this one is blue in color. Okay, now you see here there is another gap here, and there is vertical lines here. Okay, let me draw that one. Again, I draw only one side. Choose the line command, click on the circle. The circle automatically chooses the tangent line. So if you want to avoid that, just click a little bit above like this, and then do that. Bring it here. Now this one you can separately select and use coincident relationship to get it stuck to the circle. Now this smart dimension here, make this as 6, because in the picture it shows 6 here, and the height is not given, but from here until the center is given as 70. So I'll follow that. It's given as 70. Okay, so now that is drawn. This is given as 6. Okay, again, as this is a symmetrical drawing, I can bring this on this side as well. I go to say mirror entity, I chose this line, this line, this line, and mirror axis, this axis, and say OK. So automatically I have on the other side as well. Now what I can do is I can trim the remaining from inside. Again, be careful when you trim. Don't touch the vertical construction. Okay, so now so this one and this one has to be perfectly horizontal. Also this one and this one has to be horizontal. Okay, now there's a gap between these two, which is given as 4 milli. It says changing this value would result in invalid geometry. Okay, no problem. We will just remove that one. Okay, I will just remove those constraints. Okay, now I will use this dimension for, yeah, now it's okay. What I did was, before I did the horizontal constraint, I removed the horizontal constraint. Sometime if you constrain, it will not allow the geometry to position itself. So you need to see what is actually stopping you from getting the fully constrained this thing. Okay, so now the gap is for 100. Okay, now this one is still unconstrained. Now I'll try to constrain it. Let's see what happens. Okay, it's still the same. Okay, no problem. Just leave it like that for now. Now, if I see the drawing here, this whole thing is given as a construction line. So just go here, click on this line, make it a construction line. Click on this line and say for construction. So automatically that line is a construction line. So leave it like that. Then there is a horizontal, there's a rectangular piece here. So let me go and make that piece. Just choose your line command and make that drawing. Now what you do is zoom in, you will find the midpoint of the line, okay? The midpoint, click the midpoint and click on the vertical construction line and say coincident, so that is perfect symmetry. Now I click on the smart dimension, this has to be 6. Okay, there is some thing that is stopping it from going to 6. Okay, because this one is aligned with this. What I can do here, if I get stuck into this kind of problem, I can say display relations and click on this line and this line. Okay, it seems okay. Okay, I will delete all relations for now. Okay, just let me just check the dimension. Okay. Okay, delete it, no problem. Make this line. You see, these guides are the problem. Okay, anyway, no problem. Just click now. Now it should be okay because the whole thing is blue, so I can give the dimension 6. So even if you run into these problems, because this problem usually comes in this kind of drawings. Now click the vertical distance 2. Okay, that much is good. Now it has to be trimmed, so this part has to be trimmed, this part has to be trimmed. Always try to zoom in when you do this kind of operations because to be more accurate. Okay, so here again, there's a radius of curvature. So there is a fillet actually. So click on the fillet and you go click on this one. It says here 10. So the radius you have to put here 10 is already 10. So I leave it like that, and this one. And say okay. Okay, now you have the fillet that is 10. Okay, again I'm trying to, I'll make these 2 points horizontal. Okay, there seems to be an additional line. Just delete that line. Delete that line. So these two have to be horizontal, yes, and also these two needs to be horizontal. Okay, you see this one is actually moving. This is moving because this distance, see these two distances have been offset. So I need to click on this point and this point and make it coincident. You see now? Now it is constrained. So you see these kind of problems happen when you trim. When you trim, sometimes it takes another point. So you see these 2 points, when I make them coincident, the whole thing is constrained now very quickly. Okay, no problem. Let us continue. Now there is a equidistant line and is going like this. Okay, so let us draw an equidistance line. Go here, choose a midpoint line. Click here, pull. So you get a equidistant line like that. Make sure the line is horizontal. And then what is this dimension? Is 120. So click 120. Okay. Now it goes like a rectangle, it connects with this. So here I just need to make like this. I can make it on one side, make it coincident on the construction line. Make sure it is horizontal. Okay. And Now it is both of them are blue in color because this height is not given. So, but here also they haven't given the height, but they have connected to the center. So this bottom line to the center is 45. The top line to the center is 30. So let me put that bottom line to center is 45 and the top line to the center is 30. You can always press F to make it come inside the screen. Now you have a radius, a corner here that is around 5 radius. So go to the fillet command as usual and make sure this is 10, all make it 5. And then click on this corner here. So you will get a fillet. Also here there's an arc here. Now since we removed that arc, made it construction line, so we have to fill that. Let's go to here, choose a 3-point arc so that you can catch this point, and leave it like this, and then make this, click on both of these lines and make it tangential so that it grabs the construction line. Also there's a radius of curvature here, which is around also 5 radius. So click on the fillet, click here and say OK. So once one side is done, since this is a symmetrical model, the remaining can be mirrored. So just go here, mirror, choose this, choose this, choose this, and say mirror about my vertical construction axis. Say OK. So now that is what you have. Press F to see all of them are black in color, so automatically all the dimensions are met. So you have 6, you have 2, 4 gap, almost all the dimensions. Something is missing here. Okay, we did not choose this. So again, I can choose mirror. Click on this. Go to mirror about this axis. So that's it. So that is also done. And F inside the screen. So all the dimensions are met. So just compare with your drawing. All the dimensions are accurate. Okay, now we're going to extrude it to 35 millimeter. We're going to boss it to 35 millimeter. So now this is fully defined sketch. You can exit the sketch, press Ctrl 7 and go to features, boss 35 milli, say OK, OK. That is it. Press F to bring it inside the screen. Select your part in total. Give it a nice color. And remove the lines. So that is your drawing. So this is a good exercise for you to practice the trim and mirror as well as the ellipse. So you have to be very careful when you trim because you will run into a lot of undefined problems, undefined sketch problems. So you just have to make sure that you are using the relations right and you do the trimming properly. So that's how you do this drawing. Thank you.